Today we have some really big news about the future of the MCU post-Avengers Secret Wars. Not only do we have some more news about the reported new big bad of the next saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but we have some information about what the Nova series, which is confirmed. Marvel Studios executive Brad Winderbaum has confirmed the Nova series is in development. We have a little bit of info on what this show is going to possibly be like. And to top it all off, we do have a little bit of an update about the new Black Panther in the MCU castings. It looks like two actors might be out of the mix. One is for sure, but we'll dive into that in just a bit. And on top of it all, a very famous actress could be joining the MCU, as it's reported that she has had some talks with Marvel Studios recently. So as you can see, we have a lot of Marvel news to dive into today. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of the latest Marvel news. We talk about Marvel every single day. So what if I told you that Marvel Studios is looking to kind of bring Starship Troopers to the MCU? That right away might sound pretty far-fetched, but if you think about it and you think about who is reportedly going to be our new big bad, Annihilus, and the army that he has, the Annihilation Wave, it oddly makes sense. The Annihilation Wave is Annihilus's army, his invading force, and it consists of just so many bugs, just countless bugs. So when you hear that and then you hear Starship Troopers, it kind of makes sense. There's going to be a giant army of bugs that come with Annihilus. The army does consist of more things other than just bugs, but bugs are a big part of it. So Annihilus starts to come with some of his bug army, and the Nova Corps go up against him. This was reportedly one of the ideas that was pitched to Marvel Studios, in which they wanted a pitch like this. Now, in case you didn't hear, Annihilus is said to be at least one of the big bads of the next phase of the MCU. And this is now being talked about by many different insiders. One of them is Alex Perez from the CosmicCircus.com, a very credible and reliable insider. Since then, others have chimed in and said they have heard the same thing, like the insider My Time to Shine Hello. And yesterday, she posted this to her X account. Now, take it with a grain of salt because this insider is hit and miss, but this is a very interesting scoop here. She posted, "Here are some Nova details. Marvel reached out to writers and asked them to pitch for the Nova TV show with Annihilus as the main villain in mind. They also requested the story to feel young and sexy, capturing the energy of 80s military movies. One pitch was essentially Starship Troopers, with Richard Rider in Casper's arc as sort of a cocky jerk who falls in love with Namorita, joins the Nova Corps, and gets assigned to a backwater outer rim-like planet that becomes the first phase of the Annihilus Wave. In the pitch, they treated the Annihilation Wave like the bugs in Starship Troopers, really leaning into the theme of how the Nova Corps uses propaganda to police the galaxy and recruit members." Now keep in mind, this is a pitch, and this is not official by any means yet. We have heard from the insider Daniel RPK, who is very reliable, that the show is going to feature a Nova Corps. So even though Xandar was decimated in Avengers Infinity War, the Nova Corps is going to return. So we're going to see the aftermath of Thanos decimating Xandar, but we are also going to see that there are going to be some survivors. Also, there are a couple times in the comics where they simply restore and bring back the Nova Corps. So we could also see that come into play as well. Again, keep in mind, this is not the confirmed plot, it was just simply a pitch. But if they are bringing Annihilus in, which that is the report from the Cosmic Circus and Daniel RPK, two reliable insiders, then having Annihilus and some of his army, the Annihilation Wave, come in the form of thousands of bugs, then it will kind of be Starship Troopers-esque. It'll feel like Starship Troopers with superheroes. And for anybody who has read Annihilation, you know that that's war. They are at war. And in most cases, they pretty much lose. They are able to hold them back sometimes, but even in some cases where they think they're holding back the massive bug army, other things are happening, like Thanos capturing Galactus and the Silver Surfer. So they didn't really win, it was just a diversion. Like, it's full on war. And if that's what the Nova series is going to start to dive into and set up for the future of the MCU and for Annihilus to be one of the big bads, I'm here for it. But let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Now, moving on to some more Black Panther news. One of the actors who was being talked about to be in the running to possibly be the new T'Challa in the MCU was Damson Damson Idris, who was recently trolling people on X. And I want to explain this very quickly because some people think that this is real. Yesterday, somebody tweeted that Damson Idris reportedly turned down the role of Black Panther. He would have been perfect for it too, oh well. In which Damson Idris actually responded, and he quote tweeted saying, "Yes sir, I turned down 007, a co-lead film with Daniel Day-Lewis, and an Eddie Murphy biopic too." Upside down smiley face. Now, this is him trolling. This is not serious. He's being sarcastic. I've seen a lot of people reporting this like it's true, like Damson Idris did turn down the role. He very well could have, but this is sarcasm. He is joking here. When actors meet with Marvel Studios about potential roles, they have to sign NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, which basically means they cannot talk about anything that they talked about with Marvel Studios. Otherwise, they get sued for a lot of money. So this is just a joke. However, some of the insiders are stating that this actor wasn't actually on Marvel Studios' radar, and he never did actually meet with the studio, so his name shouldn't really be put on the list of candidates right now. And it also sounds like they're looking for a younger Black Panther than Aldis Hodge, who is pretty much the big fan cast right now, who is 38 years old. Although Chadwick Boseman was pretty close to that age when he originally started to play Black Panther in the MCU. In fact, when he passed away, he was 43 years old. He debuted in the MCU as T'Challa 4 years earlier in 2016 in Captain America Civil War. So Aldis Hodge is pretty much at the same age that Chadwick Boseman was at when he played Black Panther. However, we do know Marvel Studios is about to begin a huge new saga with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four and the Avengers all finally together. We know we're about to get a lot of new actors and a lot of new characters coming to the MCU. Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios might want young actors so they can stick around for 15 years or so. And by that logic, then yes, it makes sense that they would want a younger actor to play Black Panther in the MCU. That way they can stay in the MCU for a very, very long time. So for now, it seems like Damson Idris and Aldis Hodge might be out of the running, but we never know with these things. All we know is right now, Marvel Studios is currently meeting with actors to see who is going to play the new T'Challa. And of course, if we hear any updates, we'll be sure to update you. Now, last but not least, like I mentioned, there is a very famous actor rumored to have met with Marvel Studios. This actor is Uma Thurman. Yes, the same Uma Thurman from Pulp Fiction, Kill Bill, and, of course, Batman and Robin, where she played Poison Ivy. According to My Time to Shine Hello, Uma Thurman has met with Marvel Studios and is talking with them about a possible role in the MCU. Now, I like to remind people in these situations where we hear big names possibly coming to the MCU because they met with Marvel Studios, keep in mind, Marvel does this all the time. They met with Keanu Reeves a long time ago. He is still not in the MCU, and Kevin Feige basically explained that they meet with a lot of actors. They meet with them many times, and basically what they do is brainstorm possible roles that they could play in the MCU. Sometimes they never land on a role, and that actor never joins the MCU. And he gives the example of Jake Gyllenhaal. They met many times about possible characters and never worked out until Mysterio popped up. So Marvel Studios meeting with Jake Gyllenhaal didn't pay off for years, and the same thing happens with a lot of these other actors, and sometimes it might not ever pay off. So yeah, it's very cool that Uma Thurman could be joining the MCU. I've seen a lot of people say, well, maybe she could play a evil Pepper Potts variant. And you think about how crazy that would be. What if Doom has some sort of a girlfriend and it's actually a Pepper Potts variant? That would be absolutely insane. But as far as what role she could possibly play, nothing is mentioned. And again, that's probably because she's just now meeting with Marvel. This is the first we're hearing about it, and they haven't landed on a role yet. However, they are seemingly casting for Black Panther 3 right now, so maybe it's for that. But again, we have Avengers Doomsday coming up, Avengers Secret Wars, Spider-Man 4, there's a lot coming. So maybe she'll join the MCU soon, but would you like her to? Does this excite you? Do you want this or not? And be sure to let us know your thoughts on the pitched story for the Nova series coming with Annihilus, who you think should play Black Panther, and of course, Uma Thurman joining the MCU. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news, rumors, or leaks. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.